Hey, it's Patti Scharf, CPA and co-founder of Catching Clouds, the leader in e-commerce accounting. And today we're going to talk about how not to do your Amazon bookkeeping and why you're probably doing it the wrong way. Then I'll tell you the right way to do it to get to a good end result fast. Make sure you stick around to the end where I'll give you more useful tips on how to do it right and with very little effort. Let's start by talking about how you're probably doing it and why that's wrong. If you aren't really familiar with accounting, chances are you're seeing the deposits landing in your bank account from Amazon and you're coding all of that to sales. If you're coding from your bank account, it may seem really simple, especially if you're using QuickBooks Online or Xero, where you've got bank rules set up where it just automatically codes everything to sales and you're like, done. I know that's really simple, but please, please, please don't do that. It is not right. That number that is landing in your bank account is the net amount after all of the Amazon fees. And if you've been selling on Amazon for any period of time, you know that they are taking 15 to 40% of the gross sales and keeping it for themselves as some type of service fee for allowing you to sell on their marketplace. That's great. You may think that's super fine and fair. You may think it's really excessive, but if you're not keeping track of those numbers, you don't know how much money they're taking of yours, okay? And if you're keeping track of that over time in your accounting system, you can see if they start jacking up your fees. We just found out in January, almost all of our clients noticed that all their fees from Amazon went up. If you're not paying attention to that, you don't know. So how do you get that information? That brings us to the second method that's probably wrong. And that is going to your settlement statement. Your settlement statement may look something like this. Okay, it includes product charges and it shows you some shipping fees and things like that. Do you know what is not showing on this report? Any sales tax that you've collected. So it doesn't give you all the information that you need to keep track of. The other thing is, if you look up here, the statement date range is from October 23rd to November 6th. That means what's in this amount, even though it may tie to the amount that lands in your bank, it's for sales that cover a period that's not in the right period. So if you're recording this in November, you're recording some of your October sales in November. That means you can't track what you're selling over time. You can't track fees over time. It's all just kind of a hodgepodge of things. And I know if you're telling me that, hey, I'm cash basis, it doesn't matter. It matters only when I collect it, not when the transaction occurs. I'm telling you that the sale, you collected this in October, so you're still doing it wrong. You collected it in October. Amazon collected it on your behalf, but it still needs to be reported in your October books. So this is a bad problem. So if this doesn't give you the information you need, where do you go next? And the next step would be to look at all the individual sales from Amazon. Okay, so you go into Amazon and you download all those individual orders. It gives you the breakout, including sales tax collected. It gives you the breakout with shipping income and all these different things. But the problem now is that how do you line that up with your batch settlement statement? You saw before the batch settlement statements equal what gets deposited into your bank account, but a massive spreadsheet download from Amazon does not. And the unfortunate thing is a lot of Amazon's reports don't match each other. So you may pick a period, the same period for one report as another one, and they don't match. So, so now you're like ready to pull your hair out. The other problem is if you're selling like 10 orders a month, it's not a big deal. If you're selling 10,000 orders a month, it is a big deal. If you're pulling all that information into your accounting system, number one, systems like Xero, they'll only let you pull in 1,000 orders a day. Number two, it's going to crush your system because your accounting system wasn't built to house all that information. You really need to enter the information in a summary fashion. So you're like, okay, I can't do this, this, or this. What do I do? And I'm so glad you asked. So here is the answer. And I'm telling you, this is not a paid advertisement. I've been doing it since 2012. I started doing Number one, with the bank deposits, no, I knew that wasn't right off the bat. Number two, went to the settlement statements. Within a few days, I was like, that's not right either. Tried the individual orders. That wasn't working either. We ended up creating our own database to just track everything and make sure we could keep track of returns and everything else. But in 2014, A2X came along and it changed my life. It is an amazing tool. I highly recommend you look into it. This is the right way to record your accounting for Amazon. The good news is it will go in, it will grab all the information from your settlement statement, all the detailed, it'll include all the fees and sales tax and knows exactly where to put everything. If it spans 2 different months, it will create one invoice in one month, one invoice in the other one. It'll show up in your accounting system and you can just go, okay, and it reconciles. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And in 2017, they started integrating with QuickBooks Online in addition to Xero also. The A2X, Amazon to Xero, they now integrate with QuickBooks Online. So people who love Intuit, they can use that as well. So now you know why you need A2X to make your bookkeeping life simple and fast and accurate. But how do you get started? If you look at the link down below, I have a link to a blog post that we wrote about getting started on A2X and why you need it and all that stuff. So go check that out. If you like this video and find it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.